nervous as she looks upon the Medusa. She looks at you and says, I am not beautiful. Anything but that. My beauty was taken away so long ago. I know not of these words you speak. There is no vengeance to be had, for only I am responsible for my past. She sort of is looking upon you. You have humiliated me. You have bested me. I am worthless.
Zacharias nods.
Awesome.
Indeed. But you can reclaim some of that worth. You can claw yourself up from this abyss you have been cast in, not only by us, but those you in how to say it but by the actions that cursed you into this existence. Know that your pain does not need to be yours alone.
She sort of moves her hand, clearly trying to get free of the bonds.
Zacharias says, know that if you try to use your malevolent gaze at us, we will strike you down, and it will be not as merciful as last time.
Basically, we will kill her.
Slowly and excruciatingly. Do not...
Okay, let's just say we cut out her eyes and that help us have her.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I am before you, and naked. I have nothing left.
then serve us.
You can see the sort of her arms sort of twitching, clearly sort of bending a little, feeling the lack of her jewelry. She sort of looks upon you, or sort of with her snakes upon you. I should die in this position. I have nothing left. They cursed me. I cursed me. And now my end has finally come. There is nothing left for my actions. There is no way I can redeem what I did. My vanity was my undoing. Is there no relent to the pains this world can throw at me?
Zacharias, moves ahead. But we give you the opportunity to be a part of something larger again, Isabel. Something grand. This vision we have for the world is a grand one, and we would allow you to be part of this, to be part of something again, not alone, not outcast. You would have allies, you would have servants, you would even have slaves, if that is something you wish. All of this we can give you. A purpose, freedom, and a cause. We demand in return your service, your loyalty. Swear to us your undying servitude, and we promise to give your existence meaning again.
Whenever you say her name, you can sort of see the snakes recoil slightly at the sound of it. And it is clear that it's not something she's heard often. As she sort of, again gazes upon you. You see the blindfold then suddenly being ripped off. And under it, she has her eyes closed.
Good.
She slightly shakes her head slowly. There's snakes waving about, trying to keep their position constant as they continue to look upon you. You call me something I have not heard for years. I once was. Yes, I once served. And I failed. Says, I grew beyond my bounds. You would give me another chance? Is there room for one such as me?
Zacharias nods gravely. Indeed, there is, Isabel. Join us, and you have your second chance. Join us, and you have a group that can appreciate your current existence and put it to good use. Service has its rewards, Isabel.
The snake sort of hiss slightly. But there is no beauty in existence as a monster, as a being of such terror. He says, clearly sort of as he writhes a bit under the thought. No beauty in death and destruction such as I cause. I am doomed to forever remain a monster, never to be adored or revered again, accursed and alone.
Zacharias shakes his head. That is simply not true. Adoration and meaning does not come easily, Isabel, but it can be attained. He sort of, looks at, or, throws a hand at the rest of the party and says, all of us have powerful servants. All of us are the core of mighty organizations. This is something, again, you can be part of. And you say there is no glory in destruction or suffering or any beauty in it. That is simply not true. We have, he sort of indicates Halthus, someone who could speak quite eloquently on this very subject for you if you were interested, I do believe.
Halthus salivates slightly at the suggestion.
He's just going to add, the art that you can create, Isabel, is grand indeed. The art of destruction, the craft of misery, of vengeance, is something that must be honed and trained to achieve perfection. But there is magnificent beauty in such perfection, perhaps the most beauty of all.
Snake Eyes keeping watch on all of you. She sort of moves. Clearly her hands still fighting to get free of the bonds. Her legs slightly as well, although trying to do it discreetly. As to not seem undignified.
Of course.
Although her hands and legs don't seem to have the strength that the snakes do. Hovering still, she says, then a true service would carry the reward of adoration. That cannot be true. I lost my chance at the world so very long ago.
But it is true, Isabel. Serve us and you will be adored. You will be revered for your skills and capabilities. We are a group that pride ourselves in rewarding those who serve us well. Ask any of our servants, and they will tell you the same story. The Whispering Lords award handsomely in whatever form the servant wishes for good service. Serve us well, and we will create temples to you, Isabel. Serve us well, and we will create cults that worship you and attend to your very need. Serve us well and do our bidding. Prove yourself worthy of such adoration. That is what you must do, and it is within your reach if you join us.
These words, as he says, the words of temples, he sees that the snakes sort of look at him hungrily. Their eyes sort of opening completely and their mouths sort of snapping slightly. Eager, if you will. She sort of, raises a bit further up. And all that in exchange for only little. I have my eyes. She She sort of looks at you, no longer fighting towards the bond, simply having her hands on her back and her legs sort of mount together, straight down. She looks upon you. Then tell me, when you look upon my form, naked from my armor as it is, what do you see?
This is not a question you should ask Zacharias at all.
Cash would definitely.
She has a very beautiful body, although the areas uncovered by her removal of her arm rings and her leg braces and such. It isn't really armor; it's really just jewelry. But that it is clearly visible that those were there for a long time. She sort of
Cash will kill into Veen and say, "Beauty, that she is very beautiful."
Snake regards her as the others. Halfla steps forward and says, "Such potential." She grins, looking at her form, smiling. A glint in his eye.
Oh, how this!
Understanding something different in his words than Isabel might.
Oh, okay.
He likes to destroy beautiful things, scar them.
Well, he's not allowed to scar her.
He knows.
Good.
But the comment was good.
The thought, enjoys.
I see beauty cast out and long forgotten. I think it is high time the world should reacquaint itself with Isabel. That is as far as Zacharias can go in admiring someone, some woman. Yes.
I think the word she's fishing for is that she is sexy, and Cash would not be. Cash would not mind saying that.
Well, the snakes, are looking to all of you. There are plenty of them.
Mm. Well, apparently the other guys are like.
Sirius is looking at the wall rather like.
The other ones is like humana.
Yeah, they're like.
They're looking at a Sirius.
They're like America boobs. That's as
What?
far as
I
they
prefer
go.
the idea they're locked on me. Sounds like a great idea.
Well, it's up to you, but tell her what you see. And do it fancy.
Azorius slowly but eloquently rotates round,
The hair, lusciously.
blowing in the probably
I
light
see a mirror.
breeze from under the door. I see someone that has lost much, but still retains the capacity for everything that she's once had, just in a different form as it was before. Hidden beauty, but also hidden potential.
Well, what would Kyron say?
I'd do her.
A trophy.
That's what Kyra was saying.
Just nodding and looking over to Marcus and looking back and then nodding some more. No, he wouldn't do that. He would say,
Marcus
Isabel.
Boobies.
Boobies. Isabel, we will change the world. It is up to you. If you are part of that change, if you take your second chance that we are offering, or if you don't, and the alternative is probably not what you want to choose. You can be part of this world again, and we will make it so, if you serve us.
America.
Does
Night of
Marcus say anything, or does he just look?
Oh wait, I thought he was talking to Isabel with like the whole "if you serve us."
Yeah.
Yeah,
And now
Kyron was, but
she asked us, what do we see? This is
You
basically.
look upon her now.
Oh,
And we have described what we see, like a potential servant and stuff like that. So what
Okay.
would Marcus say?
And what
Um.
Cash would really like to do to her body.
Ravage her, no doubt.
Yeah, Cash will definitely just.
And
House is blushing.
so would
No,
Halthus.
Cash will definitely
Halthus is like, I need to. Oh,
Oh, Isabel-chan.
you.
so
This is getting out of hand.
Halthus needs to go
Oh
to his
my-
room quickly.
Girlfriend
Isabel-kun.
turned into a
Yeah.
Medusa.
Yeah.
Burp.
Sorry.
Oh god.
Cash will definitely go into details of what you would like to do with her to her body.
Halthus
Okay.
Let's say
blushes.
on a scale from 1 to 10,
Mm-hmm.
how detailed and how sort of luscious is it?
8.
Right, that's pretty far.
On a scale from PG-13 to 21.
This is 22.
This is like the disclaimer at the beginning of the South Park. No one should watch this.
Nope, don't even.
We
Why
We
are
are
you?
just talking about. I was just about to say foxes. I don't know why.
On a scale, if we were to like compare the physical perfection between Isabel and Asurius, who would come out as the prettiest?
Well, I
Miss
think
and Mr. Talent Guard.
Yeah.
Asirius wins in the hair department at least.
You
Clearly.
just don't like snakes. Snakes is the color of the season.
Oh,
Are
thought
they
it was
There's not a lot
burgundy
of
snakes?
competition.
how beautiful your scales shine in the moonlight, my dear.
I thought the color of the season was burgundy.
It is.
Yeah.
Snake is not a color, Jake.
Exactly.
Well,
Didn't say color of the.
Anyway,
does Marcus say anything?
Marcus will say that I see in you a very shit. I don't speak English.
What? I only speak American.
You of all
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, like it's
I know.
It's
I
kind of
can't
fun.
I can't words today.
When you said he only
Hola,
speaks
buenos
American, it's like
dias.
he has to use
Yeah.
bomb. Like she's a bombshell, all right?
Yeah.
Yo no habla inglés.
Look at those
Uh,
Hooters.
That's our restaurant. Silly.
Jake, just go boobies and point at her
Loads my
boobies.
gun,
No,
just
I-
look at her.
I'm sure if I were more awake, I would have something to say here, but
Marcus stands
Marcus will
at
just
idle.
stare then. All right,
Yes,
that's a compliment in
essentially.
itself.
okay. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
She sort of look at you, got you with being. Snakes are pitching, as she will sort of land again, standing. So, then I suppose I shall take this chance. Do not think I have not learned from my mistake.
Sakurai nods.
She sort of as she bows, and as you see, all the snakes sort of lower their heads as well, simultaneously.
Wonderful.
So how many bows are actually happening then?
She then sort of looks at you and says, "If you would, these bonds are harsh against my skin."
Cash will walk.
Halthus
Forward.
will do it, of course.
No? Oh, fine.
No, if you want to do it, do it.
Magical
Okay.
dagger.
Cash will remove the. What are we called?
Manacles?
No, that wasn't medical. It was
Ropes.
ropes.
The bonds.
Well, she will remove the bonds.
Mm.
Mm.
She's no longer in bondage.
Nope.
Uh,
Are we gonna give her back her
her
jewelry?
arms sort of move to cover the areas where there were worn jewelry.
We should give them back, should
Yeah,
we?
Sakurai steps forward, and he then says, "Very well, Isabel, will you swear to serve us, the Whispering Lords?" And he will do poked. You basically tell Halthus to step up for this. No, wave him away.
About to step in there, but then remembers that that's not really a place he's allowed to go often. So we'll just sort of bow deeply and takes his deep. Halthus always bows deeply.
That's good. That's good.
So it
That's,
goes all the way down, almost
That's
kissing
what-
the floor.
that's what we want. Get over here. Yes, you will then swear to serve us, the Whispering Lords, with your body and your soul for as long as you live, Isabel.
Sort of, does he have her jewelry with him?
Yeah, he has them sort of, as a mage trick or something. They're like hovering above his hand for effect.
She sort of looks at him and says, I have never put those on myself. Says, you see the mouth slightly sort of, the mask seems to be a slight smirk of perhaps melancholy as she.
Zacharias will hover them over to her, basically. There's a first time for everything, Isabel, isn't there?
And a second for some.
Indeed.
She says, again bowing. Then he seems to think a bit. She looks at you and says, Isabel the Beautiful shall honor my service eternally. She bows. Looking at the ground with her actual eyes before closing them again, looking up. I shall forever bow my gaze below yours and revere you as I once did, my Lady of Beauty. He's bowing. Know that I have always regretted and learned from my own mistakes, and that I do not make the same mistake twice.
Zacharias nods. Good. That is indeed what we ask of our minions. We do not have much use for favored servants that are idiots. We value intelligence, craft, and cunning and manipulation.
Bows head and says, I have lost all I knew when this form came upon me. However, it has with itself come with some benefits. She sort of again hovers up slightly, her hands sort of almost shining a bit of sort of a reddish energy crackling at her fingertips.
Excellent. Excellent, yes. Your skills and powers will be of great use to us in the coming assault of the Vale.
Your enemies shall break apart as the mountain sent through 1,000 years of time.
Good. That is what we like to hear.
Hovers back a little and looks upon you and says, Will I, my lords, she bows deeply, receive servants?
Zacharias nods. Yes, you will, Lady Isabel. You will be furnished with some servants to do with as you please. Remember always your service to us, and that all the graces flow from the Whispering Lords. Do not fail us.
Once I had a mistress, a goddess, and all my power came from her. When I betrayed her for my own sake, she accursed me with this. He sort of gestures to her being. Now, perhaps I can see it as a reward, a chance to become what she so long ago failed to be. The most beautiful of all beings. If you can indeed change the world, perhaps you can even change the meaning of beauty.
Zacharias nods. Indeed, that is what we aim for. Now, he holds up, oh no, it moves his hand. You have free run of this manor house. You are not to leave it. Outside is the town of Gaston Hall, and the ignorant and unenlightened populace would balk at your magnificence, Lady Isabel. Soon, when preparations are coming to a head, you will be transported with others in our service to a camp in a mountain pass near the Vale. There you shall await instructions. Zacharias moves a hand. We shall also furnish you with some servants to attend to your needs.
She bows. I need not drink, nor eat, nor sleep. I require no rest, and I require no entertainment. For thousands of years I have dwelled within the same place, mostly within the same room, with only the odd visitor, none of which spoke a word beyond their curses. I have long since exhausted the intellect I possess. I have learned to freeze in time. I never age, and so years are preciously little to me.
Zacharias cracks an eyebrow.
I can remain here for centuries, if that is what you wish.
Zacharias nods. Excellent. You must tell us more of your powers, Lady Isabel. We have seen some of it. But please, basically, give me your stat sheet.
I have no
Please
need to
give me a statue.
I can move through the air, or any other medium, as long as I can pass through it. So my abilities lie mostly in my innate sight, but beyond that, I can poison enemies, but with a touch.
Kyron frowns at this. He noticed.
I can inflict them with many a curse, disease. Beyond that, those who possess my once so endeared position should fear me more than anyone else. For towards them, I am especially lethal.
Does she say that she is extra good against clerics? Or just her type of died out sect?
She sort of looks at you and says, you defeated me, yes. However, had you not been such villains, I would have been much more prepared. You were the first who did not come to slay me in the name of some good god. The first to not curse me, and smite me with your so well-loved perception of reality. I, however, can do the same from my own.
Zacharias will ask her more of her sort of potential spellcasting abilities. I mean, would she be considered a sorcerer, wizard, or are there like more? She said she has innate abilities.
Yes. As she elaborates, you'll get the idea that she has not that many spells. It is primarily spell-like abilities, actually only spell-like abilities. It seems in her past she might have been a priestess. However, her goddess has long since abandoned her, and she has no longer any connection to the divine. She does have the spell-like abilities of especially contagion and poison a few times a day.
Okay. Wonderful.
Beyond that,
Oh.
mostly her gaze is her weapon.
Can
She can
imagine.
use it both passively and actively.
Kind of mean, just
She
hovering
also
out of
seems
reach
to
and
be,
gazing.
She also seems to be mostly resistant to many things.
Mean against any enemy that is not Kyron.
Yeah.
Can both fly, fight while not seeing anything, cause damage that is above damage reduction, and many other things. Also, he's not good, and he has good fortitude save. Yes,
And that was certainly a fight that Kyron was prepared for.
As she sort of looks to Zacharias. Is that enough explanation,
Zacharias nods.
my lord?
Very good. Very good indeed.
She begins to put on her jewelries, placing them exactly where they have been for so long. If you want sort of an image, it looks like old. Her dress actually looks very. It is strongly red, and you would sort of complemented by the many bronze brooches and sort of arm rings and such. It looks very. If you sort of think of ancient Greece, sort of style.
Do
Sure, I
you,
get a very good idea.
do you have a picture?
Yes, I can get one for you for next.
Yeah.
She bows. He sort of just moves to hover here. He doesn't really seem intent on moving.
Well,
Well, that's fine by me.
that's
If
fine with me as well.
you can just hover there all if you
Do
want.
you wish for me to stay in this room?
For now, yes. You can move about the mansion. Do not gaze upon any of our servants. We would hate to lose them at this point. But you are free to walk around and explore if you so wish. He moves on. Do you know anything of Duergar and the mountains?
She sort of says, I do not know that word. In the mountains, as I were there, people lived. We called them dwarves. I have, however, not been outside the temple walls for 1,000 years.
That's she probably doesn't know much more than.
You spoke of Telengard and other such words. I am not familiar with them.
Zacharias quirks an eyebrow. I would imagine not. Telengard is the current kingdom of men that surrounds or encompasses this land. It is a kingdom of fools and idiots, bleatingly reciting words of Holy Mithra, the god of light, vengeance, and inquisition, and a myriad other things that are too bothersome to count at this point. We, he indicates to the party, intended to cast this church and this kingdom down, bring it to its knees, and instead erect a new order that will shake the very foundations of the world. We can bring some books to you if you wish to read up on the last 1,000 years of events.
I would imagine that a lot has happened. Many of the tribes have fought undeniably. And this, he looks around the building, is different from how things looked when I was out.
I can imagine it was, Lady Isabel. Much has changed. Actually, Zagreus thinks back. What kind of state was Talengard in 1,000 years ago? Was it like a
A history check. We'll see if he knows what sort of thing happened there.
Natural 20 for me.
it's a very long time ago. It's like
It's a very, very long time ago. I
it's
mean,
like
that long ago, he's pretty sure that, at that point, it was the Irenaean, most likely, who were in control. There sort of tribes and small city-states ruling the land. This was long before the sort of modern people of Talengard even came to the island, found it out here, and decided to settle it, and then sort of conquer it in the end.
yeah, he will then say that
Most likely she's from a time before the Guardians were even a thing.
And then it will quickly try to summarize and say that the Irenaean tribes have fallen, they failed, and in their place usurpers from far away landed and built this kingdom of holiness upon the defeated backs of the old tribes. They still exist, some descendants of them, far north. But apart from that, they are most likely beaten and, for all intents and purposes, almost eradicated.
She will sort of listen to this. Sort of thinking. She says, "Then, Corelestre, what does that word mean to you?"
Does it mean anything to Zacharias?
Does it mean anything to any of us?
Does it mean anything?
No. You've never heard this word. You would swear upon your life.
Even with tongues.
It's not a word in any language, it seems.
Probably a name. Zacharias will, consider going through his vast repertoire or, collection of memories and knowledge he has, and then he will shake his head and say, "No, it means nothing to me. I had never heard it before, and I have heard many a strange name and incantation over the years."
Yeah. A faint smile sort of glaces upon her lips. She says, "Then the goddess has died, and the Forsaken survived." She smiles. "To outlive the one you once worshipped, the one who banished you, who cursed you with this." Refers to herself.
Delicious, isn't it?
There is a certain irony in my immortality, meant to suffer eternally. Now, I did not know there were no longer eyes watching my actions.
Zacharias nods. That would certainly explain a lot why she kept in the temple all this time if she thought she was constantly surveyed by this goddess. Zacharias said, "No, the goddess is definitely not in this land anymore. If she is dead or not, I cannot say, but her cult is definitely not alive."
Then the land is free from divine.
Alas, not. The usurpers I mentioned installed their own deity as the highest authority of this realm. It is somewhat complicated, but the deity is called Mithra, as I mentioned, a god of light and judgment and imbeciles and fools. They are so...
That name I have heard on multiple occasions within the last 100 years.
Yes, I would imagine that most of these self-righteous fools that sought to destroy you, Isabel, summon that name to give them courage or to try to smite you with spells or powers.
They all failed, and they were only visiting rather recently. I was not used to so many visitors. Um, looking at you, and and sort of the snakes moving slightly up and down. However, it does not matter who rules the sky. For as long as I serve, I will attempt to push you to their position.
Awesome.
Excellent.
I only serve gods.
Well, that can be arranged.
Clearly, her ego still playing in.
Of
Now
course,
that
of
she
course.
has renamed herself, if you will.
You don't just say like
Nice.
I only serve God. Zerus is smiling here.
You've forgotten
Clearly,
a
at least
U in there, I think.
Oh yeah.
Zerus likes this idea of like I only serve gods and we're now as master.
Yes.
Seems to be more of a stating of facts than a compliment.
Hmm.
Oh, she says all the right things.
Yeah, she does. Why did Halphys leave? Was that because what?
He was told to.
By who? Oh, that must be.
By Zacharias.
That
We
was
wanted
before.
her to swear to us, and Halphys doesn't need to be here for that.
No, and she's not gonna swear to Halphys. She's gonna swear to us.
Well, I was AFK for a little while.
You know, we need to concentrate all the power around us and only dole out whatever we deign appropriate.
Yeah.
She just hovers there in front of you. Now her jewelry in place once more. She seems a lot more comfortable. Her dress not hiding a lot, but apparently the jewelry makes the lack of it makes her feel naked, bare.